There's a big story. The whole podcast we can do only on what I learned from my grandmother. But there's one interesting thing I want to share. We used to go there and we used to shout in Marathi. Yeah. One used to say, Matki se mod. Second used to say, Khayala god. Matki se mod. Khayala god. We used to announce that.
How do you grow a business in today's fast changing environment?
People might find this a little odd to listen to, but I have a logic and explanation behind it. I believe real growth is revenue-led growth. Sales should bring in money into your organization, and that is the best money. Look at the worst part of it, Mukesh. अभी मैंने ये पॉडकास्ट पे उस रेस्टोरेंट का नाम बता दिया. See, I have done negative marketing for them, and I have also done positive marketing for Vijay Sales in the second example.
Correct. Then why a business will fail?
So I would like, this question reminds me of Peter Drucker, the great management thinker. What he says that business only has two functions. What are these two functions according to him? One is innovation and second is marketing. Point for entrepreneurs and startup founders is that you have that creativity, have that resilience, have that एक जज्बा होना चाहिए फाइट करने का, and you'll be successful.
So, namaskar, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. In today's age, we are surrounded by endless streams of information, right? I mean, most of it can be overwhelming, and sometimes it is really hard to separate the noise from the true gems. And I must say, there are some outstanding podcasts or content available online, and I owe a lot of my learning through them and also through my previous experiences. But here is the paradox, right? No information creates confusion. And on the flip side, too much of information also creates confusion. And that is exactly why I started this podcast, to help streamline your and my understanding of business and marketing. And I'm truly honored to introduce my mentor from SIBM College, Pune Lavale campus, Mr. Abhay Kardeguddi. Abhay sir runs his own marketing firm and is renowned for his deep expertise in business and marketing strategy. I can't tell you how much I had learned through my experience by interacting with you during my course in the Symbiosis Lavale campus. And as a professor at SIBM, he has imparted wisdom and guidance to his students, helping young professionals and mind, including myself, to blossom and grow. Thank you so much for joining us today, sir.
Thank you, Mukesh. It's such an honor. Yeah. It's a real honor to be with you, Mukesh. Yeah. I know you as a brilliant student of mine at SIBM. Yeah. That's the memory I, clearly have. Yeah.
Brilliant बोल दिया sir आपने. Really, but I did used to ask you a lot of questions because marketing is something that always excited me, because it is not something that you can really learn from the book and just apply. It seems to me a whole new game wherein you need to have experience, but you need a lot of creative mind to be good at marketing. I think so. That is what always excited me about your class.
Right. Thank you so much.
So, without any further delay, I do want to get to the questions. I have some questions that I have noted down. So the first question I have, sir, is regarding the business journey and the core principles. Right now, I would really appreciate if you can share your experience on how to create and sustain a business. How do you grow a business in today's fast changing environment? And I think आपको तो बहुत सालों का experience है. So you have seen a lot has changed over a period of time. The approach, the methodologies might have changed. And I would also request you to share your key lessons that you have learned from your own successes and failures, please.
Sure. Mukesh, when you said, you had been working for a long time, I remember how I operated. You are at Kolkata, right? Just now?
Yes.
Yes. So I remember coming to Kolkata or talking to a person in Kolkata used to be a big deal when I started my career because we used to book a trunk call. Trunk call had a facility. I don't know whether you relate or the guys on this viewership they relate to this, but we used to have a trunk call with PP facility. PP is particular person for which you have to pay 20% extra and get to connect to that person. Cut to today's era wherein we have smartphones and we have AI now talking about, and we'll be talking more about it as we go. But yes, from a landline to AI is a big journey, I must say. But Mukesh, to come to your question, I would say that my journey of learning business, honestly, started with one person in my life. You know who? My grandmother. She was my first guru. She was my first teacher of business. How? I must have been in fifth, seventh, sixth standard, somewhere around that. And I used to stay with my grandmother, my mother's mother. Yeah. And she used to run a small shop, a small tea stall. And I used to be her assistant for that. Yeah. After my
Oh,
school hours. Yeah.
that's
And I learned
fascinating.
so much while working with her. I want to, there's a big story. The whole podcast we can do only on what I learned from my grandmother. But there's one interesting thing I want to share with you and with all of you friends is that it used to be Sunday. On Sunday, she used to have those sprouted pulses ready, a basket of sprouted pulses. And me and one of my friend, of course, we all came from a poor background, so that was our contribution to the family. So she used to keep that basket ready, and Monday morning, early 7 o'clock or so, we were on a particular road in Satara, my hometown, and then we used to start one place, end at another place, and while going on that road, actually the woman on the in on that road, the families they used to know that these two boys they come on Sunday and they sell sprouted, good quality sprouted pulses. So we used to go there and we used to shout in Marathi. Yeah. One used to say, Matki se mod. Second used to Khayala god, Matki se mod, Khayala god. We used to announce that and
So
we
you used
used to
to,
walk.
so you and your friend, you mean, used to carry the sprouts
Yes,
and used to sell it on the streets, shop by shop,
yes,
and to the people on
yes.
the market? Oh,
No,
awesome.
not shop. The families, the
Families,
women,
okay?
yeah, they would like to buy them and then cook. Yeah. So, and we used to have these measures. Yeah. And through those measures, we used to give them the sprouts. That was a wonderful experience, I must say. And my learning of marketing started there. And then, of course, I became an engineer. I became entrepreneur, as I say. I became entrepreneur. And last 30 years, now this is my 31st year, Mukesh. I'm doing consulting training, and as you already know, I ran my eco-friendly product business for 17 years. Yeah. And I sold it out before COVID, 2 years before COVID. And that was a great thing that I did. Otherwise, I would have been in a big trouble. Yeah. So that's a small beginning. But let me come to your real question on how to create, sustain, and grow business. Yeah. I am a firm believer. Some people might find this a little odd to listen to, but I have a logic and explanation behind it. I believe real growth is revenue led growth. Sales should bring in money into your organization, and that is the best money any entrepreneur can. Now, creating business, there are three things actually you should have. What do I call? I put them in short forms. Yeah, I say U plus S, US. What do you mean by US? An entrepreneurial team, they should understand and satisfy customer. US. All right. Second thing, I say that CCDEV. Yeah, create, communicate, and deliver and exchange value. That's another formula I give. And third formula is TGG. What do you mean by TGG? Target group and gap in the market. Now, if you look at all this, this is a very strong logic behind any business getting success. Yeah, marketing led success, sales led success, revenue led success. What is the key point here? Key point is value. Very, very important value. If you permit me, I can share two, recent examples, Mukesh. Yeah,
Please, sir.
and could be interesting to start because I believe, and from my teaching also in the classroom, I believe in lots of examples and a lot of real life cases in the classroom and otherwise. Yeah. Recently, for one of our training programs, we were traveling from to South Maharashtra, me and a team of people. And on the way around place, we found a big hoarding of a restaurant called South Aroma. Yeah? Does it sound interesting? Aroma South. Yeah. So we and wonderful visuals, good pictures. So I told team boss, ये बढ़िया लग रहा है. Can we have breakfast here? If you don't mind. They said, yes, अच्छा लग रहा है sir. जाते हैं. We went there and it was a pathetic experience. See now what happened? What happened? One, there was an appeal. Yeah, there was a communication. Create, communicate, as I said. But communication was there. But creating value was not there. I can go into telling you a story in detail, but that is not required. Point is made that unless you deliver value, you are not going to get customer just by doing advertisement. And that is what I say. Satisfaction is most important. Value creation is at most important. Another example, we went to buy something for my son. He recently shifted to Pune. And, we wanted to buy a couple of things. We went to Chroma. We had a terrible experience there. We went to Vijay Sales, their competitor, and Vijay Sales from the doors, welcoming us, getting us into shop, and taking us through wonderful experience. The one person who handled the whole case, and we end up buying a lakh worth material, on that visit. That is the importance of creating an experience. Yeah. So in nutshell, understanding satisfying customers, creating and exchanging value, understanding gap. We'll speak more about a gap further, Mukesh, in our discussion. I would like to explain it further. But most importantly, creating experience for customers is a winner in today's market. Yeah.
Very interesting. And I'm glad that you gave that experience, shared that
Yeah.
experience of visiting that restaurant, because उससे क्या है चीजें और थोड़ा सा हम relate कर पाते हैं.
Hmm.
So you visited that restaurant, the first appeal, right? The communication part, that was fabulous. So that was the first hook. You went there, but they were not able to create the right experience for you and give you the right value.
True.
So
True. एंड लुक एट द वर्स्ट पार्ट ऑफ इट मुकेश. अभी मैंने ये पॉडकास्ट पे उस रेस्टोरेंट का नाम बता दिया. सी
वो तो
आई
है
हैव
ही
डन
सर, एकदम.
negative marketing for them, and I have also done positive marketing for Vijay Sales in the second example.
Correct.
See,
Or people, they only share the experience, and I have I mean, मैंने भी यही experience किया है. या तो उनको जब बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा experience होता है and they are overwhelmed, I mean when it creates a wow factor, or when they're utterly disappointed.
research on that says that if you are satisfied, if customer is satisfied, he might tell 3 people in his circle positive word of mouth. But if customer is dissatisfied, he or she might tell 12 people in their circle. See, that is the
The ratio
multiplier
that you
factor.
get,
Yes,
of course.
with it works.
That's a
Yeah,
very interesting point. And
yeah.
the third one is TGG, that is target group and identifying the gap. I think that is absolutely very important before you even get started with a business. So when you have an idea, first of all, you have to understand what value it will bring in the market, who will be the target audience, and what kind of gap or opportunity that you are really trying to fulfill. है ना?
Right, right.
Understood. So
Great.
adding to that, sir, let's say I want to start a business, right? And it's a product business. So the
Yeah,
first thing to understand why a business will fail. Give some examples of it. That will be
okay.
great, please.
Yeah. Yes, of course. Why businesses fail is very, very important question. I'm sure we all know the statistics that only 3 businesses out of 100 new businesses launched, they succeed. 3 out of 100. Yeah. Depends, category wise it varies, but on an average. So this question is extremely important. ये बहुत important सवाल है, महज important सवाल है. हाँ, तो I would like, this question reminds me of Peter Drucker, the great management thinker. What he says that business only has two functions. What are these two functions according to him? One is innovation and second is marketing. Innovation and marketing. Now, if you decipher this thought by Peter Drucker, you will understand why I was saying that understanding customer, which is at the core of marketing, and then satisfying customer, you need innovation. You need the best of the product or service, whatever you do. Innovation is most important. Uh, that is where people fail. They do not innovate. They just see some success story somewhere and they just try to build another business based on that, which is likely to fail, right? Unless you go deeper into the understanding. What are your customers' problems, pain areas, their requirements, their needs, their aspirations, whatever, aspects that apply to your business? Are you studying those? Are you going deep into that? And you're trying to understand, only then business succeeds. Innovation is what we have added to it. Many times, businesses, they don't have proper product and market fit.
Mm.
Yeah. Another example, one more example I have seen with many startups in last 30 years. I must have dealt with 300 plus businesses in my career. I see poor financial management is one of the important reasons of failure. पैसा नहीं ठीक से इस्तेमाल कर पाते हैं मुकेश, एंड दैट इज वन ऑफ द मेजर प्रॉब्लम. और एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट और जरूरी रीजन है फेलियर का, लीडरशिप. The leader, the entrepreneur, the founder who starts business, she or he or they are not able to manage their people properly, create a leadership example. Yeah. So it is very, very important you work on these things. And since you know that I'm big champion of marketing and sales, marketing is many times weak, and I would say low or no understanding of sales. No or low understanding of sales. सेलिंग, जैसे आपने भी शायद बोला कि सी जो बोलते हैं ना कि जो पढ़ेगा वही बढ़ेगा. On similar lines, I say that जो बेचेगा वही बचेगा, जो बेचेगा वही बचेगा.
So आपने दो चीजें बताई, एक तो इनोवेशन एंड मार्केटिंग. Is it
Yes.
important that both element has to be there, और सिर्फ एक एलिमेंट भी हो तो चलेगा, या मतलब या फिर सिर्फ इनोवेशन या फिर सिर्फ मार्केटिंग?
See,
Yeah.
I'll give you example. When I say innovation, what do I mean? I'm a practical person. I apply my learning every day. Just yesterday, I mean, you'll not believe this. Just yesterday, I'll not name the company, but we visited a very prominent pathology lab in Pune. Yeah, a traditional business established for 30, 35, 40 years. Very good, principled people. Yeah, but a traditional way of looking at business and marketing. We were telling them that you will have to adopt digital marketing, you will have to adopt social media marketing, you will have to adopt AI into your business, and we were discussing that. Yeah. So now, what I was trying to tell you is that this, very good visit we had. What I did this morning, I did something interesting, and what was it? कि मैंने जेमिनी को सवाल पूछा कि भाई ये ऐसा ऐसा. I gave a proper instructions
Yeah.
to Gemini, and then it gave me answer, right? So I gave background of that business, and it gave me answer. Both my question and answer I forwarded to client. I said, see what Gemini is talking about it, and he just loved it. He replied me, Abhay sir, this is wonderful. Yeah, the great insights and what we discussed yesterday and what AI is saying matches, and we will definitely take it further. Happy Diwali to you. I said Happy Diwali.
That's very
So what I'm
interesting.
saying,
Yeah.
you need to be innovative in everything you do. See, innovation is not only a new good product or great service.
यस, क्योंकि आप हर चीज में तो इनोवेट नहीं कर सकते. आई थिंक मे बी इफ यू फॉर एग्जांपल यू हैव अ प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस एंड इफ यू ऐड अ incremental value to it,
Mhm.
or even a better packaging,
Yes.
then
The way to Mahabaleshwar, there is Panchgani. At Panchgani, there is a wonderful brand called Dhananjay. Now ये धनंजय क्या करता है? ये ट्रेडिशनल बिजनेस था. वो चना बेचता है, चना. हाँ. Today, Mukesh, if you visit their shop, it's a bloody big shop. Must be around 2,000, 3,000 square feet, selling chana and allied, part one part in chana. He has come out with various flavors, peri peri, yeah, masala, pudina, you name it, and he has done such a brilliant, innovation in that. Abhi chana kya hai? A
सिर्फ
chana is a
चना,
chana.
चना में.
Exactly. And if, when I go there, that is like cross selling using your products. Yeah, I don't end up buying one chana there. I
एग्जैक्टली.
minimum buy four types of chanas, and they
आप
are
फिर वो जाते तो खरीदते ही हो.
very crispy, very fresh. See, and you mentioned one very interesting thing. Can you innovate in the packaging? See, packaging, according to me, is the first interaction that customer has with the product when she visits a showroom or even online. Yeah? So that packaging shouts out, "Hey, pick me!" That's the shout, and that is what can be utilized. Today, there is a big trend of eco-friendly products, the eco-friendly packaging that can be applied.
Great. Thank you so much for that. Um, uh, I'll just quickly summarize to why businesses fail. There are
Yeah.
few reasons because they fail to innovate, they
Mhm.
fail to and maybe let's say they have a great product, but if they don't market it well, the world will not come to know about it and no one will buy it. So
Yeah.
that's a failure of marketing. Another is poor financial management. I think this is absolutely crucial. Maybe इसमें मतलब I completely agree. It is it is just not about creating a product or service or building a brand. You need to know your numbers really well, and I think shark tank के इतने सारे episodes देखकर वो चीजें तो जरूर समझ आई हैं कि if you don't know your numbers well, then
True.
probably it's going to create a lot of challenges. Another is leadership. I think वो बहुत जरूरी है. लीडरशिप आई थिंक वो तो तभी आता है जब एक बिजनेस ओनर या फाउंडर अपने धंधे को अच्छी तरह से समझता है. वो ये समझता है कि उसने धंधा स्टार्ट ही क्यों किया इन द फर्स्ट प्लेस. व्हाट इज द विजन ऑफ दैट बिजनेस. Until unless the owner himself or herself is not clear about that particular reason in the first place, they will not be able to share the same level of understanding with their employees, and this is where they will fail in the leadership. So with
Right.
this I will come to my third point with. Yeah,
This
yes sir.
reminds me of Narayan Murthy, who says that a good leader is the one who can create leaders better than him. A good
Yes,
leader is the one who can create leaders better than him. That is a good leader. I have seen leaders, entrepreneurs, getting so locked up in their egos, in their whims and fancies, and that creates so much problem. क्या? तो वो सब भूल जाओ,
absolutely.
घर पे रखो यार, घर पे रखो. आप बिज़नेस करने आए हो, अपना ईगो को मसाज करने थोड़ी आए हो. So,
ये बहुत की learning है. I think I have also learned hard way, gradually and slowly over a period of time, that you have to have a good balance in everything what you do. So yes, leadership is very important, and I think that brings me to interesting next point is whenever someone starts a business, let's say a product business or a service business, the story of the business is, or the vision, the purpose behind that brand is very crucial. यदि वो स्टोरी जब तक क्लियर नहीं होगी, आई थिंक probably audience, if they are not aware of the story, no matter how great the product is, people will never be able to relate to that product or service. So how someone really builds a compelling story or purpose behind a brand? Please share some insight on that.
wow, wow, this is, I believe, one of the most important questions of this podcast, Mukesh. या ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, ये बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। मुझे लगता है कि सी हम स्टार्टअप की बात कर रहे हैं, तो एक स्टार्टअप की जर्नी अपने ओनर से, अपने फाउंडर से शुरू होती है। सी यू आर द ब्रांड, योर स्टोरी इज व्हाट विल रिफ्लेक्ट और परकोलेट इन योर ब्रांड। दैट्स ये बहुत जरूरी है समझना। हाँ, एंड ऑफ कोर्स एज यू राइटली स्टेड, स्टोरीज दे सेल। स्टोरीज में एक इमोशनल कनेक्ट होता है। स्टोरीज में एक पॉसिबिलिटी होती है कि टू मेक ब्रांड मेमोरेबल। या मैं आपको एक कहानी बताता हूँ अभी, अगेन अबाउट अ ब्रांड। हाँ,
प्लीज।
वी नो दिस ब्रांड कॉल्ड बिग बास्केट। हाँ, तो बिग बास्केट की मैं केस स्टडी पढ़ रहा था, तो जहाँ पे देयर वाज अ लेडी, देयर कस्टमर, शी ऑर्डर बनानास। हाँ, तो उसने बनानास ऑर्डर किए and they were delivered to her. That point in time, 4 hours was the delivery time they used to promise, and they used to deliver in 4 hours. Yeah. Now, what happened? These bananas, they which arrived, they were not fresh, and she immediately went to app and complained, and immediately they responded saying that we are sorry. They refunded her money. Person came, he picked up the bananas and he went. But story doesn't end there. After 1 hour, there was again ting tong on her door. She opened the door and she saw a person with another set of bananas there. She said, "Big basket? No, no, वो हो गया सब." He said, "No, madam, it's okay. My manager would like to talk to you." Then this person calls manager. Manager speaks to this lady. He says, "Madam, we are extremely sorry. The bananas we sent you were not right. We are sending these bananas. uh, you know, on the house. You don't have to pay for this. Yeah, please accept these bananas because at the end you did not get the bananas you wanted, right? So please have them. Yeah, thank you so much for shopping with Big Basket." Now that is the beauty. That is the beauty of a good brand, great brand, and how brands they create stories and stories are being told. जैसे हमने अभी ये स्टोरी कहानी बताई। और कुछ कहानियां याद आती है। जे नाइके, नाइके
Yeah.
द फुटबॉल ब्रांड, इफ वी रिमेंबर हाउ they, if you study well, you will find they create stories of athletes and their adversities through which they have become great athletes. Take Airbnb, सर्विस
Yeah.
बिजनेस, वो होस्ट और गेस्ट की कहानियां बनाते हैं। और एयरबीएनबी, आई मीन, billions of dollars of business without owning a single property. Yeah, like Uber and like Zomato and other examples, we know them. But I distinctly remember one advertisement, Mukesh, और ये कोविड के दरमियान थी। आई एम वेरी श्योर ऑडियंस विल बी एबल टू रिलेट टू इट। बर्गर किंग, बर्गर किंग पुट अप एडवर्टीजमेंट जहां पे एक कहानी लिखी थी। वो बोल रहे थे कि आप जाके मैकडोनाल्ड से खरीदो। आई रिपीट, द एडवर्टाइजमेंट सेज that you go and buy from McDonald's also. Why are saying that? Because COVID was a tough time for restaurants, and they were saying that so much of manpower, so many people involved, they will go bankrupt if you do not, go and shop, with us and with them both. It sounded so well, with people. It was such a clever and compassionate, appeal. Look at the story. After 5 years, 7 years, we are now talking about the same story here. What is the impact it has made on me? Yeah. There's another, our own brand. I don't know whether have you heard of this brand called Jumbo King, Jumbo Vada Pav?
हाँ हाँ, यस सर, खाया भी है वहां से।
अच्छा अच्छा। तो उनका उनकी स्टोरी बहुत बढ़िया है। इनफैक्ट उनका ऊपर एक पॉडकास्ट हो सकता है, इतना बढ़िया स्टोरी है उनका। बट उन्होंने एक पर्पस डिफाइन किया है। सो एक एक चीज शायद मैं हम अपने बेसिक प्रिंसिपल में लर्निंग में भूल गया कि वन इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग इज अबाउट द स्ट्रेटेजी एंड पर्पस, रादर पर्पस एंड स्ट्रेटेजी। एनी बिजनेस नीड्स दैट। तो यहाँ पे ये पर्पस क्या डिफाइन करते हैं जम्बो किंग वड़ा पाव वाले, कि कॉमन मैन हैज राइट टू गुड फूड एट अफोर्डेबल प्राइस। एक आम आदमी को ये अच्छा खाना सस्ते दामों में, किफ़ायती दामों में मिलना चाहिए। See, look at the purpose. What a brilliant purpose. What a great purpose. And again, we spoke about innovation. They have done brilliant innovation of chole vada pav. Yeah. They have done lots of innovation in that. Yeah, some failed, some worked, but that is jumbo vada pav for me. Yeah. So all this what tells us ki storytelling and branding is extremely important for your business, and it starts with the founder, with the owner, with she, he, or they.
That is right. I mean, most of the companies. So, एक बात बताइए, I mean, when we come to this particular piece, ना कि story, definitely companies like Nike, Adidas, ये सारे companies, they have a very compelling story, and I think this is why people relate to them, and they are, because people are able to relate to the company's story, they are always ready to pay a premium for the
Yeah,
product. I mean, that is the beauty of that relationship.
correct.
But there are so many other shoes companies as well. Why they fail to have a similar compelling story? I mean, what are they missing in their messages through which they
Yeah.
are not able to define the purpose? I mean, ऐसा तो
Right.
बहुत सारे ब्रांड के साथ होता है, तो वो क्या मिस कर रहा है?
I'll relate to last week. Two entrepreneurs, founders, they visited my office. Yeah, and they came with an idea that they want to have a new socks brand. Socks, yeah, brand. This is connected with your, question. I asked them a simple question: कि why a new brand of socks? Why? नहीं, वो फलाना 2 ब्रांड हमने स्टडी किए, वो सक्सेसफुल हो गए, तो हमें भी लगता है कि हम कर इट। I said that's not the purpose. Purpose is that you have to go deep into why people use socks. What are the occasions? What are the problems, issues for which they wear socks? And go deep into it. Try to understand, behind it, and try to then come out with socks really might make difference to people's life. For example, I said I'm doing a loud thinking is that you wear a particular kind of socks, and perhaps it helps you relaxing and getting a better sleep. I don't know. I don't know, as I said, but that's an example. Can you think of something like that? Yeah. So think of for various reasons what could be different socks, and that is why people don't any business you do. Can you think of purpose is most important. Yeah. Can you think of bigger purpose? And I'll give you examples from my own consulting businesses we have done. We'll do it little later. Yeah.
Understood. And I completely agree. A compelling story is very important. So let's say there is a company created a product. Now they have a compelling story. Now they are ready to share that, that story with the audience. And I think they think that the market will resonate with that idea. So once, let's say, they have a product market fit, how one should approach a right go to market strategy for their business, and does it vary business to business? If you can share please
Yes.
some your insights on that.
Sure. 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 Yes. GTM, go to market. Yeah. These are approaches to market. Means what? How do you take your product to customers? And there could be various approaches, various ways of doing it. As you said, it will vary from product or service, the category you are dealing with. See, but broadly, there are if you look at theory of GTM, it tells us that there are 4 or 5 fundamental ways of doing it. First is the product led growth. Second is sales led growth. Third is marketing led growth. Fourth is community led growth. This is one of the recent addition. Community led growth and partner led growth. Yeah. Or the sixth one can be hybrid, right? So product, sales, marketing, community, partner, and hybrid. These are the different forms GTM that you can have, and I'll give you examples also for this. There is a wonderful workflow automation, workflow planning software called Slack,
Yeah.
SCK Slack. Slack has taken a product led growth. They have kept the price fairly low, and the product is very, very simple to use, and that has picked up and it has developed. So, product was at the core of GTM, strategy. I have a friend who runs a very good perfume business. The brand is called A Fragrance Story. Now, Rishikesh Lonkar is my friend who is doing this. Now, for this brand, what is the GTM? His way of doing it is sales led growth. We said market led growth. We know a brand called HubSpot is a great example of marketing led growth. They work on inbound and outbound, as we call it. Yeah. Community led growth, definitely two brands come to my mind is Airbnb and LinkedIn. Now, I don't know whether people know about this. LinkedIn also has a wonderful offshoot which is called LinkedIn Local. What does it mean? Yeah, people on LinkedIn who are in a particular locality, like in Pune, we have 5 LinkedIn locals. Means what? We those who are on LinkedIn, we meet physically into these groups, and we exchange notes, we learn. There's it's a very interesting activity.
Oh, मुझे तो पता भी नहीं
From
था सर इसके बारे में. Thank you.
the last one which I said is partner led growth, and partner led growth, we have examples like DTDC. There's a brand called Cotton King. There's a restaurant in Pune which is now growing through partner led growth called Yorkshire. Yeah,
Uh-huh. Yes.
Yoke. Yoke. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Yorkshire, and they are growing through partner-led growth. So they have different examples, but again, there are many examples which are hybrid also. So it is not one way of doing it. As you rightly said in the beginning, Mukesh, is it depends on your product, your category, and you should study what competitors are doing. What is the right way of for your product, for your offering to the market, and then you have to define your GTM. That's how I look at it. Yeah.
Got it. So, just coming to this example, I have had food in Yorkshire. ये तो उस प्रोफेसर विनोद शास्त्री जी उनका वो एक co-founder है इसमें.
Yes.
A very interesting brand. A
Correct.
very smart way of just representing a very simple product, egg, into
True.
something very interesting.
Yes.
Definitely there.
The name also has yolk.
Yolk in it.
Yorkshire.
The logo is also very nice. हाँ उसमें वो
Yes.
egg का yolk आता है तो and
Yeah.
of course विनोद सर है तो वो तो होगा ही. ये कुछ B2B और B2C का इसमें आता है क्या? मतलब आप प्लीज चाय भी पीते रहिए सर, नहीं तो चाय ठंडी हो जाएगी.
Yes, a good question, and good of sub question you asked. See, again, in B2B you will have to have a different approach. In B2C you will have to have a different approach.
Correct.
So depending on again product, like let's take the same perfume example. For B2C, it can be sales led or marketing led, as we said. But in B2B, where the volumes can be big, why will people buy perfume for in quantity? Because they would like to gift it. So now you'll have to position it differently for B2B. Maybe you will have to do email marketing. Maybe you will have to do, LinkedIn based marketing. So there are different approaches for that. So you'll have to decide which channel for which kind of market. Based on that, you will have to select that particular channel to reach your customer.
One thing आपने I think ये सारे case study से एक चीज जरूर समझ आती है. The messaging has to be very clear every time, and
Okay.
people now, because the market is so competitive, they should not forget the purpose behind the brand. क्योंकि यार यदि ये product नहीं बिक रहा है तो let me just come up with a new product with a different combination. That may dilute the overall messaging of the business and confuse the customer, and probably they will not buy the product. Definitely. So once they have it, then based on the product and the approach, they can decide the right go-to-market strategy.
Bilkul.
Absolutely. I would also request you to first of all define what personal branding is and what are the aspects of personal branding one should be mindful of when they're starting a business, please.
All right. Yeah. Interesting. Yes, personal branding for an entrepreneur, for a startup founder is extremely important. What I believe, my version, it may not be the formal definition. My version is that Personal branding is the way in which you project yourself, the way in which people talk about you, the way in which you carry yourself, the way in which you communicate, the way in which you are present on the social media. All this is personal branding, according to me. Yeah, and of course, the appearance and grooming and all those parts, they are part of it. But mainly, how do you present yourself on the across offline, online? Yeah, that is personal. But what I feel is that we have many such examples in India and abroad. Yeah, immediately when you say personal brands, couple of names pop up in our mind, right? Richard Branson, Vijay Mallya, right? You have Elon Musk, Ritesh Agarwal, apna Oyo wala. Yeah,
Yeah.
what a success story, and many of them. Point is that all of them have done a wonderful personal branding. Look at Narayan Murthy, the way in which he himself is a brand. Why Narayan Murthy? Even Sudha Murthy is a brand today. Yeah, a great one. Point is, for a startup, coming back to startup, why personal branding is important. Your question, it is not only for customers. You have to also attract good talent. See, employees. You
Yeah.
have to attract investors. And perhaps, if I might want to go one step ahead, even to your bankers. Yeah, why not? They see your presence on LinkedIn, and they feel very confident about you. That's something can happen. But if you are very weak on LinkedIn, yeah, and your banker, the manager has good presence on LinkedIn, and he'll spot. He'll say, अरे आप बिजनेस कर रहे हो, B2B में करना चाहते हो और आपका खुद का तो प्रेजेंस ही नहीं है लिंक्डइन पे. Yeah, so that's the this thing. So advantage of personal branding could be great word of mouth. अब आपकी स्टोरीज बनेगी, स्टोरीज चलेगी, और जो जैसे स्टोरीज चलेगी, बिजनेस चलेगा और बिजनेस बढ़ेगा. राइट, यू नीड मोर स्टोरीज.
Correct. Um, Absolutely agree. I mean, आपने काफी इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंट बोला. इससे मुझे याद आया, शशांक जो फाउंडर है द होल ट्रुथ ब्रांड के. I mean,
यस,
it's a 600 crore company, and what I see that,
प्रोटीन, बिग प्रोटीन. या,
yeah, and it's a clean label company. जो ingredient जाता है वो बताते हैं सामने, and the messaging has always been very clear.
या,
And I see that a lot of content that this company creates, Shashank is present in most of the content, and I think that's where he takes that big risk as well,
ट्रू.
because he is the founder and he himself is creating the content. So I think it just creates a very strong uh, branding for his brand per se, which I think helps him to attract a lot of audience. And I think वो एक confidence भी तो झलकता है. यदि वो दिखता है तो उससे आपको नए talent भी आएंगे. I think investment भी आएगा, as you saying. So completely agree. Personal branding is something that is very important. And I think nowadays people, as you rightly said, after COVID, they have become more health conscious. So there is a set of audience who is ready to pay a premium price for a good quality product. But having said that, yes, personal branding, I also agree that is absolutely crucial. If you only have a product out there in the market but the messaging is not very clear, I think you have to, I think the information itna है market में. Every time, every day, you see so much content out there. You have to consistently keep on talking about your brand and be innovative and be creative with the messaging every time.
Creative aspect, it reminds me of one very vibrant brand, and that is Zomato. Yeah, Zomato जिस तरीके से communicate करता है, even the
Brilliant
captions
एकदम.
which are
Yeah.
written, captions which are written behind the deliver boy का वो जो bag होता है या डब्बा होता है, उसके बाद what brilliant work they have done. We should like Pidilite or Fevicol, we all know, and
एकदम.
many examples. But Zomato is today's example. Yeah, so yeah,
Okay. With that in mind, आपसे ये समझना था कि how the marketing practices has changed over a period of time and what is very relevant today. So let's say कोई एक product company है. Yeah. Any few examples that you would like to share, some marketing practices that one should follow to get the word of mouth spread out in the market.
Okay, great. Couple of things that quickly come to top of my mind is that first in India, any entrepreneur should remember that there should be combination of online and offline together. Yeah, online and offline goes hand in hand with Indian context. Please remember that. I believe broadly this is true for global market too, but for India for sure, online and offline. And I can share n number of case studies successfully we have implemented using online and offline. That's one. Second, what I feel is that since you said marketing, yeah, I'll go to marketing, but let me start with sales. Yeah, people must understand what is new happening to sales. Yeah, simple thing. Entrepreneurs must have something called a sales funnel, a sales pipeline. अभी ये क्या है इसको आपको समझना होगा. Go to Google, find out. There's so many tools to learn today. There are so many videos, so much learning material around. Study what is sales funnel, study what is sales pipeline, and start implementing it. Most important. See, marketing and sales is very applied theory. So you should start using it. There is huge advantage of having a sales funnel, a proper system of sales funnel. You can use Excel, you can use Google Sheet, you can use CRM software, anything that you want. ERP, some of the ERPs have this facility, but please start using, a sales funnel pipeline, developing it. So then, if we go to marketing, do you have, if your business grows slightly, do you have something like a very simple CRM, tool? Like you have very low cost. You have Begin by Zoho or Odoo or Monday. There's so many platforms. Salesforce, of course, but Salesforce slightly costly. But you have so many options. When you're talking about a good CRM software, that is a must for today's marketing practitioner. Yeah, very important. Then there are, for example, digital marketing tools. Simple, like you have email marketing today. Now the people, there again we can talk more about email marketing, but email marketing is one very important way of reaching your customers. If that is so, do you know about something called Mailchimp? Do you know something about SendFox? Do you know these tools as an entrepreneur? See, मुझे लगता है ना, when you ask this question, एक वो जो कहावत है ना कि जैक ऑफ ऑल एंड मास्टर ऑफ नन. या तो एंटरप्रेन्योर को जैक ऑफ ऑल ही होना चाहिए व्हेन इट कम्स टू मार्केटिंग. उसको मालूम, शी मस्ट अंडरस्टैंड कि मार्केटिंग क्या है ब्रॉडली. वो फिर करा के ले सकते हैं फ्रॉम एक्सपर्ट्स, फ्रॉम कंसल्टेंट्स, फ्रॉम एजेंसीज, अदर्स. बट उनको मालूम तो चाहिए कि क्या है. Digital tools today, like I said, emailing tool. Are you using the right social media platform? What is the right platform? Is Instagram your platform or is LinkedIn your platform? Then have you studied this platform? Have you gone into little depth of it and trying to work on it? And last but not the least, today, are you aware of the AI tools available? लोग तो चैट जीपीटी के बाहर जाते नहीं है, जेमिनी के आगे जाते. तो क्या आपको मालूम है कि नोटबुक एलएम एक टूल है विच इज फैंटास्टिक फॉर एनालिसिस. क्या उसको पूरा एक एनुअल रिपोर्ट दे दो कंपनी का और वो उसको जो चाहिए एनालिसिस आपको करके दे देगा. क्या आपको पता है कि परप्लेक्सिटी करके एक ये टूल है. ब्रॉडली अभी एयरटेल इज गिविंग इट फ्री, सो पीपल हैव कम टू नो, but you can do great market research using this. Yeah. Do you know there is a tool called Clay, which can do database sorting and ICP generation? ICP is ideal customer profile generation from your database. So many tools. I can keep on talking again of different tools, different um, new methods of doing marketing. But are you aware of that? And of course, all traditional marketing that we had been doing, exhibitions, conferences, seminars, road shows, retail, visual merchandising, all that, which is classical marketing, all that applies. But you ask me question, what is new? And according to me, this is what is new. All right. I hope I've answered your question.
Absolutely, sir. That was really very lot of crucial points you highlighted. Thank you so much. And मैंने तो actually expect भी नहीं किया था कि इतनी सारी चीजें होती हैं. But yes, absolutely, one should be
ये
mindful
नहीं,
of
ये
these
थोड़ी
many.
है, बहुत बहुत और बहुत ज्यादा है मुकेश। ये तो मैं वी हैव जस्ट टिप ऑफ द आइसबर्ग जैसे हमने टच किया। या ओके।
I think maybe someday down the line we will have a separate session on this. Probably that'd be
श्योर।
great. And that brings me to my last point is about the corporate social responsibility. My question regarding this is, let's say there is a company which focuses well on corporate social responsibility, how well they can use this CSR activity that they perform and bring it in line with the messaging they give to the community. वो कैसे best combination हो सकता है? Any thoughts on that?
I would say my answer about CSR will be yes and no. Yeah, to be very honest with you. See, आपको ये देखना चाहिए कि क्या सोशल एंगल मेरे बिजनेस से रिलेट भी करता है, रिलेवेंट है। अगर है तो यूज इट, अगर नहीं है तो you should not forcibly apply that social aspect. Yeah, that's my honest opinion about it. Having said that, I want to give you two examples from my own consulting business. There's a client of mine which is into financial advisory. They do a lot of wonderful things. In fact, we implemented one very interesting thing is that we started educating teenagers about importance of money. Now this is very very important कि एक टीनेजर को अपने पेरेंट्स अगर बताते हैं तो वो नहीं मानते हैं, या इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ मनी, या पैसा। तो वो प्रोग्राम इतना हिट हुआ कि people used to come and book that program with us and have it. But when they come with their teenagers, we were also subtly promoting our services to them. It was hit. But that is not I want to tell you. That was a creative or innovative aspect of the business. What I want to tell you, this company is, by the way, Midas Touch company. Now, what they do, and they have done a brilliant initiative. What is that? They there we do mutual fund for maids. जो मेड
Ah,
आती है,
lovely.
आती है उनके लिए म्यूचुअल फंड। कितना? महीने का 200 रुपए, 500 रुपए जो भी होगा। हाँ, वो अगर साइड में जाता है, इमेजिन द काइंड ऑफ वेल्थ शी विल क्रिएट ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम। That is the social angle, a very relevant, very very pertinent, and very very meaningful application of social angle to business. There is one more example I wanted to share. My another client, which is called Click Skills. Click Skills, yeah, where I'm advising, this company, again a startup. Now, what do? They have created a wonderful platform to teach people technical, subjects, but in regional language, in say for Marathi,
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
or Bengali or whatever. No, we are starting with Marathi just now, and within span of 1.5 year, we have 14,000 learners on this platform. How? Because it hit the need. What was the need? See, क्या होता है? People feel that you teach them English and they will get confidence. No, you teach them subject better and they will have confidence. वो
Correct.
बात कैसे भी कर लेंगे यार, वो सब्जेक्ट तो
Anna.
समझ में उनको पहले, वो समझ में सब्जेक्ट नहीं आया तो इंग्लिश कोई मदद नहीं करने वाला आपको। That is the point here. So connecting it with CSR, what we are doing there is that we are approaching corporates, and if some corporate people are listening to this podcast, they must please help us with this. That we would like to have funding for this, particular courses to be taken to underprivileged, students from tier two, tier three, or even in urban setup. There are lots of underprivileged, boys and
Yes.
girls who want to learn technical subjects and technical skills, and we are doing that on this platform. But connecting CSR, giving, doing social service, and of course, developing our enterprise, our business also in the, you know, uh, in a way, right?
ये आपने बहुत बहुत ही एक बेहतरीन एग्जांपल दिया ये मिदास का और स्पेशली वो क्लिक क्या नाम बताया सर
Skill,
आपने क्लिक
click
स्किल्स
skills,
क्लिक
click
स्किल्स
skills.
काफी
Yeah,
इंटरेस्टिंग एग्जांपल्स थे और उससे क्लियरली समझ आता है कि आई थिंक जब विजन क्लियर होता है कंपनी का तो इस टाइप के अपॉर्चुनिटीज अपने आप इवेंचुअली आ ही जाते हैं
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल. You said it in the gist. Yeah. So, if did you say it was the last question?
यस सर
Okay. So, can I, if you permit, can we end with a small story? Yeah.
प्लीज
I like, you also mentioned about stories, and I like stories, and I like to tell stories. So, ये कहानी है, and with this story we will conclude. Yeah. If you are okay. Yeah.
यस सर
ओके. तो ये कहानी है, एक बूढ़ा आदमी है, वो कहीं पे गांव में रहता है, और उसका एक ही लड़का है, ओनली बॉय. बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली द बॉय इज इन जेल. उसको पुलिस ने पकड़ लिया है, वो जेल में है. And this old man, he has his farm, and he cannot, you know, do anything. His old age, he is not physically fit to do anything. Now, what happens that between him and his son, yeah, there is only communication through letters. He can send letters to him, and son can send letters to father. Yeah, that is the only way to communicate. So one day, father writes to him, says that, बेटा, तुम तो वहाँ अटके हुए हो, एंड यहाँ पे खेत अपना मैं कुछ नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. मुझे आलू उगाने हैं, बट मैं कुछ नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. अभी क्या करूँ? ठीक है, जो भी है, भगवान के भरोसे है, वगैरह वगैरह. उसे लिखता है. तो जेल में से उसको इमीडिएट रिप्लाई आता है लेटर में कि बाबा प्लीज ऐसा मत, कुछ मत करना, बिकॉज अपने खेत में एक जगह मैंने कुछ आर्म्स और अम्यूनेशन रखे हुए हैं. आप कुछ मत करना, प्लीज डोंट डू एनीथिंग. तो उनको लेटर मिलता है, वो ताज्जुब होता है उनको भी. लेकिन वो लेटर मिलने के दूसरे दिन सुबह 5 बजे उनके दरवाजे पे टक टक होती है. देयर इज अ बिग फोर्स ऑफ पुलिस फोर्स एंड एवरीबडी, एंड दे से कि कहाँ है वो, हथियार कहाँ रखे हैं, वगैरह वगैरह. इससे क्या हथियार, मुझे नहीं मालूम. नहीं नहीं नहीं, हमें मालूम है. तो ऑब्वियसली वो खत पढ़ लिया उन्होंने, पुलिस ने. वो सारे फार्म उन्हें खोद निकाला, और देखा कहीं पे आम वगैरह कुछ नहीं मिला. तो बोले क्या है ये, ऐसा कहाँ है, बताओ हमें. वो बोलता मुझे कुछ भी नहीं पता, आप क्या बोल रहे हो, और मुझे ये भी नहीं पता नहीं कि उसने कहाँ रखा है, रखा भी है नहीं है, कुछ मालूम नहीं. तो फिर वो निकल जाते हैं वापस. फादर राइट्स टू सन कि अरे क्या पागलपन है यार, ये तुमने ये क्यों बोला, वो सब आ गए, मैं इतना डर गया, वगैरह वगैरह. देन ही राइट्स बैक, बाबा डोंट वरी, अभी जो आपका काम खुदाई का था वो तो हो गया. अभी आप so point for entrepreneurs and startup founders is that you have that creativity, have that resilience, have that एक जज्बा होना चाहिए फाइट करने का, एंड यू विल बी सक्सेसफुल. या, थैंक यू सो मच.
This is brilliant. Thank you so much, sir. So, guys, this was the podcast with Abhay, sir. I learned a lot. I have taken almost 2 pages of notes, and I am really excited about the points that you have mentioned. I'm definitely going to note these ones definitely for my learning. And I hope you guys learned a lot from this podcast and apply this knowledge in whatever you do, I wish you all the best. Thank you so much, Abhay sir, for joining us today. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on the podcast.
I
Okay.
really enjoyed it.
I'm
Thank you so much.
greatly honored. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye
Thanks.
bye.